Alright, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, Connor on Chain. Let's get into a bunch of stuff today because we got, the last couple of days we've had a really nice push to the upside, and it's getting very close to where we could see a potential run in a ton of altcoins fairly soon, and I'm not talking about the next 2 days, next week. It might take a little longer, but it's definitely coming close to a point where we may start to see violent upside that can really just hit at any certain moment, in these coming weeks, maybe, in sometime in October, something like that. Maybe even later, who knows. But I think we're gearing up for a lot of potential upside going into the next, minimum 3 to 6 months from now. So, I'm going to pull up a few altcoins because we have had a few coins, specifically that I've covered on the channel, on and off start to move. And then just overall, there's just a ton of coins, guys. Depending on the narrative you like, I swear it's just allocating into stuff, that's just sitting at a good dip, at a good correction, or, if it's a meme coin, something fairly bottomed out, jumping into it and just holding and being patient is going to play the best in 6 months from now. That is the easiest thing, but also, it can be something pretty hard to do, especially mentally when, a lot of people still think this market's going, we're going to nuke to zero, we're going down, so it's a lot to overcome mentally, but I'm going to bring up a bunch of alts. Excuse me, I don't know why I'm going off here. Number one, we actually have seen Bittensor and, the Tau narrative itself. I don't even know if this is on deck screener. Because I assume they had a wrapped Tau. Yeah, they do. Okay. So obviously the market cap fully diluted here is not correct. Price is right, but it just depends on the pool size in which, where this wrapped Tau is, or Bittensor. But mainly I want to pull this up because of the chart. Actually, it doesn't have much history in the chart, but either way, if you guys look at a full Bittensor chart, it's had a nice run, at a huge push up, and now it's on its way down. It has been bouncing a little bit, and it's finally having a nice push to the upside. Because we have seen a lot of AI coins, start to get a little bit of momentum the last few days, which is good to see, and I think that we're going to start seeing, at some point going forward within the next few months, I think Bittensor itself, I know for a fact it will be probably the number one or number two AI coin in crypto this bull run. I mean, it already is basically one of the biggest, but the reason why I'm saying that is because underneath Bittensor, with smart contracts and all this stuff coming with what they're building, I have a huge feeling that, Bittensor related projects are going to be a huge narrative when AI comes back. I actually made a video on this. I don't know when it was, whether March or April, because we actually saw, a very short term, Tau beta play or Bittensor beta play, for, microcap AI coins. This is when, I think it literally was in March or February, when AI coins were going crazy. But I have a feeling we're going to see something like that again. But I think any sort of fairly established Bittensor related AI coins are going to have their own almost like mini narrative, and we can kind of see that with a couple. I'm going to bring up two today. And so if you guys, I'm going to link it up here. This video, guys, I'm telling you, the coins that I mention here, if you just look at these in 6 months, you will be shocked at where the price of all these AI coins will be. I swear. Because the reason why I'm bringing this up is because this coin here, SETI, is one of the ones that I brought up in the video. It's still, it's still kind of where it was before, sitting in between like 35 to 20 million, somewhere in this range. But Tau SETI is actually a gem of an AI project. I'd still consider it somewhat high risk. Again, it's especially in the sentiment like this. Um, but SETI itself, I think, is pretty strong. Narrative wise, they are building. They're kind of under the Bittensor umbrella, and they are a fully focused GPU type AI project. They have a docs team, and the team is they're out and about. I don't know if it was I don't think it was Token 49, but at least a couple months ago they were at some sort of event. Um, to me it's like they're overall this project has just been showing me a very good signs. That they're not trying to be this LARP of an AI project. They really want to be a very strong overall AI coin for the whole sector here. They have. I mean, I guess this is some of the team members of SETI. I guess are here. Morpheus AI, Hypercycle. For me, I've seen these a ton on Twitter. But like I said, being fairly doxxed. Okay, so they were a Token 49. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I like to see that. Shows a lot of transparency, and for a team to show face, at an event, something like that, it's like that they're trying to build something. And I don't know. I really like that about this project. Um, but I'd say outside of that, guys, like I think just as a combo, if you didn't even look at the fundamentals behind why I like this, just narrative alone can pump the crap out of this, in my personal opinion. I mean, it's sitting at $1.40 right now, around 30 million. And again, I'm not trying to say jump into this right now. And I'm going to bring up another coin in 1 minute, which fundamentally is, I think, even better. Or maybe not better, but, very, very good in comparison. But, I mean, for SETI here, again, it's going to depend on when we really just flip that switch for altcoins to just take off, I think. When that happens, I think SETI's easily going to $3 to $5 on that, the first leg up there. Maybe it goes 3 to 5 times higher than that. I don't know. I always like to play it very cautious, very safe with any sort of targets and stuff. But momentum does look pretty good. We might see this drop a bit, push up back to around $2 here, and kind of bounce around in here. But obviously, if we see Bitcoin, kind of reject on, a daily time frame, a 4-hour, 12-hour, and we start to see huge candles of red over the next few days, throughout this weekend into next week for Bitcoin, then I wouldn't expect, any coins to really just start to, gig ascending out of nowhere. It's usually why I like to bring up Bitcoin every video because, usually what Bitcoin does on the day or the day after is a huge factor for if certain coins are going to have, really good moves throughout the week, or if they're just going to sit flat and or even just start trending down, But for what it is, again, SETI's, I think SETI's a gem of an AI project. I really do like this. We got VectorChat. And I'm probably going to make another video at some point. I'm going to go probably a lot more in depth with some of these projects, and then also the Bittensor ecosystem. Because I know a lot of people still aren't too familiar. And honestly, I don't blame anyone. It's actually, when I first started learning about it, it's very, very confusing. But like I said, in another video, I'll try to explain it as best as I can. But as you can see, this obviously had a giga candle. I mean, it's not a huge candle, but very good push to the upside here, about 100, 200%. From these lows here, from this chop for months, right? But like I said, I think this could be a potential opportunity. If you guys like the Bittensor project, the Bittensor narrative, I think getting into, great Bittensor beta plays while they're down very low is going to be a very strong bet. not only on just AI coins, but AI coins that also, are tied to one of the greatest AI coins in the sector, right? I think overall it's just a narrative. You over a span of time over the next 3 to 6 months, I don't think you can really lose like super hard on this. Overall I think it's a very good narrative. I'm like, my head's all over the place thinking about it, but currently there are, I don't know exactly how many projects there are building under the Bittensor, narrative umbrella, whatever you want to call it. But I know they're a good amount, minimum 5, max like 20 something. I do know of a few more. Those have been dropped in the Discord as well. But lately I think these two that I've brought up, in my opinion, are probably some of the most fundamentally strong ones that I've seen so far in the space. But like I said, I mean, for chat here, I mean, it's at 7 million. I think if it just cools off for a little bit, it could be potential entry, and just, be very patient with it. Something like that. But as far as for AI stuff, another one too. So outside of, this Bittensor narrative, we did have GraphLink. GLQ has been on a nice run over the last, I think, literally 2 days now. It's finally broken out of, its kind of accumulation area. But in my opinion, for a low cap, this is one of the first, outside of Bittensor, one of the first AI coins that I'm starting to see, begin a nice recovery run, right? So to me, that's actually very bullish for this coin. But same thing, I think this is, again, it's not going to just giga candle to 20 cents, guys. Keep in mind, this is not going to, again, unless maybe, Bitcoin in the next 3 days goes to 66, 67K, right? Then this is probably not going to last right here. It's at least going to pull back a little bit. Maybe it bounces like this, continues bullish momentum, maybe throughout the month of September into the end, maybe early October, bounces down again. It's, like I said, it's all really going to depend on when Bitcoin just decides to break all-time highs, and start really running hard. And again, that could be literally in the next few days, or if we do get rejected, it may, it might send us down for another few weeks. But I think outside of that, we're gearing up for this next leg up. We've been correcting basically in every coin since March, right? From March to September, it's like, bro, that's over 6 months, guys. We've been going down and sideways. That's a long time. And it looks like, structure's been finally broken. Because initially, I would say, right inside, this was the accumulation area in between around 6 cents to, maybe 3 cents, 3.5 cents. Anywhere in there, I've talked about many times, very good accumulation zone. And it's starting to move, which is good. But like I said, I think it's going to pull back, bounce a little bit, continue to show bullish structure, and then have a nice, shot at really having a nice run. Something like this. We're just going to go up like it is, pull back, bounce again. If it continues to make higher highs, higher lows, and then show some strength, and then at some point, it's going to have a nice run, probably back to all-time highs, if not way higher. So outside of that, just wanted to pull up some altcoins, because like I said, honestly, I think these are just two very good ones, GLQ and SETI. And then Chat is a new one I've never brought up on the channel, but for a Bittensor beta AI coin, in my opinion, if it pulls back a good amount, could be one to just long-term accumulate as well. And you guys can jump into those, as in, research it yourself, look into it, see if you like it, see if you vibe with the community in Telegram, things like that. Just check it out. If there are things you like about it, where you can actually start to build conviction in a certain coin, that's going to be your I think your biggest, I don't want to say gift going forward, but your biggest, one of the biggest things that you can do for yourself is finding a coin that you can build that conviction in and just accumulate and accumulate. And then once it really breaks out, once we go way higher, you know, everything in all the times where you're stressing out, accumulating these coins, you know, it will pay off. So outside of that, that's kind of what I wanted to cover. Just a few AI coins that have been doing pretty well, and so just some coins overall that I really do think have a ton of potential going forward. So outside of that, that's what I wanted to cover in this video. I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.